Hi, I'm Garrett Town with AM Solar.
And I'm Sean Wilson, lead install tech here.
And for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be working on a very complicated Airstream project. This thing borders on insanity, what we're going to be doing to it. What kind of model is this?
So this is an Airstream Serenity 30-foot
brand new
bedroom Airstream. Brand new, yep. And we are going to build a really, like Garrett was saying, a really cool system in here. 24-volt, big solar array. And we'll kind of discuss what that's going to all be about.
So Sean, what did this rig come with?
So this is a standard Airstream. It came with two 6 volts, just lead acid batteries, about 200 amp hours.
And they were in the tongue here.
Yep, just right in there.
And we're not going to use that for the new battery.
No, we are not. No, and then it also has a 1,000-watt WIFCO inverter that Airstream installs on all their coaches, and then a pre-wired solar array. It was 200 watts, brought in with a 6-gauge cable. So just kind of standard fare from the factory.
So 6-gauge cable from the roof where the panels are combined to the charge controller. Actually, is that 8-gauge? And then 8-gauge. Then it's 6-gauge from the charge controller to the batteries.
Yep.
And then the WIFCO components. Are we keeping those?
Nope. So that's a pretty small inverter. It's a standalone inverter, so it's just there to supply power to a couple AC outlets. We are going to completely remove pretty much this whole system and go into quite the elaborate lithium, big inverter, and large solar array.
What are the WIFCO components good for? Are there installs where we keep them?
There are, some people find that that's enough for their needs if they're just trying to get power to a couple AC appliances in their coach. But for most people who want nicer batteries that have a larger capacity and they need their inverter to also be an inverter charger, then they're going to want to upgrade, or even just to have more capacity out of that inverter to run heaters or coffee makers, anything that's a larger load.
All right, sounds great. So this customer has some pretty unusual power requirements, and that's why we're putting 6 of these batteries under his bed. He likes to go out into the desert, I guess, and record and play music very loudly, apparently. He has, I think, this is an expensive system that we're putting in his rig, but I think his audio equipment is probably worth about 5 times more than the power equipment that we're installing. So I really look forward to seeing this job when it's done. Along with a tremendous amount of Victron product, we're putting as much Zamp hardware on the roof as we can, and this whole pallet of folding panels will be part of an array that he can lay out when he camps somewhere. So tell me what this is. It's what's the wattage of each of these panels?
So basically, like you were talking about earlier, his energy needs are so extensive that putting even 1,000 watts on the roof just isn't quite enough for him. So these are Zamp Solar's 230 watt folding panels, and they're going to be series together to produce a pretty substantial array. He's actually going to use 2 different arrays brought into 2 separate Victron 250 volt 100 amp
so
charge
5 panels per charge controller. Okay.
Yep, and so this is what we have going on here. We're going to kind of go through and actually modify how these are wired so it'll best fit his needs, but he'll be able to deploy this portable array and charge much faster than he could if he was just using the panels on his roof.
And we use Zamp panels because their quality is unrivaled. I've worked in the solar industry for about 10 years, and I've seen a lot of different solar panels. When I opened up a Zamp folding panel, I could tell this thing is built to last. Zamp cares about their reputation. They use AR-coated glass. Everything is made to top quality control standards. We've toured their factory a couple times. I love the versatility that their frames give us for installations. And they're made in Bend, Oregon, which is just right across the mountains from us.
Yep. How's it going, guys? So I'm in Genie Boom right now because these Airstream roofs are pretty finicky to putting weight up there. So some panels can be fine up there, but having somebody like me stand on or walk around on the roof can cause damage. So we do most of our installations via ladders or actually in this Genie Boom itself. Looking over our roof here, first thing you might notice, we have some different size panels, and that's so that we can get them to fit on the roof and get as much power up on the roof as we can. These panels you see here are made by Zamp. They're made for us here at AM Solar. They're 98 watt panels, and they are produced for us because we have some interesting size constraints with these Airstreams. You can see, looking at this air conditioner, that we don't have much room, so we need them to be a certain shape to get them up here. Along with these 98 watt panels, we're also installing, which are 7 of them, we're installing 2 of these 90 longs, and that is because we have the length that we need but we do not have the width, and so we're able to put some different shaped panels up here to get us up to about that 1,000 watts that these roofs can handle.
So we're going to have 6 batteries this size under here. The customer said they wanted the best, so that means Victron. And there's also going to be a giant Quattro inverter, 5,000 watts, everything running in 24 volts, and 3 solar charge controllers, all reporting to a Victron color control monitor. And this is under the guy's bed, and the nice thing about lithium batteries as opposed to flooded batteries is they don't off gas, so it's not like he's going to be making himself sick by laying on top of a giant battery bank. This is perfectly safe, and this is where most of the batteries go in Airstream installs.
Alrighty guys, so in addition to the solar array that we're doing on this trailer, we're also going to be doing a WeBoost setup, which will give him cellular coverage out in the middle of the desert, which is where he's going. We're also going to be supplying him with 2 easy starts, which is a startup capacitor for his air conditioners, allowing him to run both his air conditioners off of our system without that hit of spike in power that air conditioners need to start up. In addition to those 2, we're also going to give him 11 more AC outlets into this coach, which sounds like a lot, but with his type of inverter and the amount of power that he has in his batteries, he'll be able to supply all those loads to all those outlets. So 11 more than this coach comes from the factory with.
So just to recap what this system's going to have, it will be 866 watts on the roof, 2,300 watts of solar on the ground, for a total of 3,166 watts. On a good day, a system like this will produce about 9 kilowatt hours of energy. The battery bank can store about 18 kilowatt hours of energy. So assuming no other loads or charging sources, it'll take about 2 days to take batteries from 0 to full in good sunlight.
Alrighty guys, so you can kind of see here that this is kind of a far from normal project that we have here, but it has a lot of the same elements that most DIY builds have with lithium batteries.
There'll be a lot of new challenges.
Yep.
For example, a 24 volt system. Most systems are 12 volts. We're going to learn as we develop a 24 volt system.
Yep, we're going to put 3 different charge controllers, 1 for the roof and 2 for the 2 separate portable arrays, and that's all going to need to be brought into one central monitor so you can see
Along with a battery monitor.
Along with the battery monitor, so we're going to have some monitor challenges on this one as well.
Additionally, we're going to have a Quattro inverter, which is somewhat unusual for an RV. Normally they go with multi-plus inverters, but as power requirements go up, so do inverter requirements, and Quattros are the big ones.
Yep, 5,000 watts.
Yeah, and then our portable solar array with 10 solar panels. That is going to present some challenges, some issues we have to deal with changing out wires, ports. There'll be a lot to learn in this video. Stick with us and learn with us as we tackle this exciting project.